So, Godzilla King of the Monsters dropped this past weekend to a domestic gross of $49 million. While it's the lowest gross of the Legendary MonsterVerse, it was still enough to take home the top spot for the weekend. But, was it any good? Well, yes and no. King of the Monsters was fine. That's it. Not the best Godzilla movie and certainly not the worst. While it delivers on its promise of more monsters, it doesn't really do much with them. Every time the action gets going, it cuts away to the human drama that, let's face it, isn't very good. This was an issue that people complained about with Godzilla 2014, and it was supposed to be rectified here in the new one. It wasn't really. My main gripe is that while there's more monster action in King of the Monsters, it still doesn't deliver the monster-focused final battle. And before you say, well, the Toho movies limit Godzilla to the ending as well, so you don't know what you're talking about, and you're not a real fan, and Rotten Tomatoes ruined any chance for this movie, and Marvel sucks, and you're just a shill for Disney. Let me say that at least in the classic Toho films, they let the monsters fight in the final battle without endless cutaways to the human drama. To quote Ken Watanabe, let them fight. The monsters themselves all looked incredible. King Ghidorah has never looked better. This Ghidra moves exactly like you want him to. He's terrifying and his scale is massive. It's a sight to behold. Mothra looks amazing and continues the age-old tradition of being the Kenny McCormick of the Godzilla universe. Rodan's entrance, one of the best scenes in the film. Too bad he doesn't do much of anything. The other Titans all look great too. It's just a shame that, like Rodan, they're not really relevant to the story. This movie reminds me a lot of Batman vs. Superman. Too many ideas crammed in and nothing gets the time it deserves to make it compelling. The score is fantastic. Hearing the original 1954 theme when Godzilla appears was enough to give me goosebumps. Then it was used again. And again. By the third time it felt old hat. As much as I hate to say it, it felt overused. The same can be said for Mothra's theme. Even if overused though, I'm still glad it was included in the film. Another thing I can't believe I'm saying is that I thought there was more effort put into fan service than to storytelling. I like the nods to the past films, but that shouldn't be a focus. The story should be. And don't you tell me that we don't go to a Godzilla movie for a story, we go to see giant monsters beat the shit out of each other. If Marvel can make a compelling story dealing with a tree and a talking raccoon, then Legendary can make the story at least make sense. They can have their antagonists have a plan that isn't a ridiculous premise. Look, I don't hate this movie at all. I'll eventually give it a second chance when it hits the Blu-ray market. As a Godzilla fan, I'm glad I saw it in IMAX on opening weekend. Unfortunately, it failed to live up to my expectation and ranks 3rd out of 3 in the Legendary MonsterVerse. And for God's sakes, when he and Kong fight next year, have the fights take place in the fucking daytime. I don't understand why Skull Island can have daytime fights where you can clearly see what's going on, but both Godzilla movies so far have the fight scenes relegated to the darkness. King of the Monsters did better than 2014 in this regard, but it was still dark, and it's unnecessary. Let us see them fight, damn it.